vlogs or videos coming up on my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Friends, here are all the ingredients. So like I said, what I did with the sabudana is I took 1 cup of sabudana. I washed it very well under running water, soaked it in about 2 cups of water and kept it for about 30 minutes, and then drained all the water and kept it for about 2-3 hours, and then you get this lovely separated grains of sabudana. They don't become slimy and sticky. So if you try this method, your sabudana will not stick together and your recipe will come out fantastic. Now I've used half a cup of peanut powder. You can use less. It's just that I love peanut powder in my sabudana vada, sabudana khichdi. Then I've taken 2 light green chilies, cut them up, and 1 small boiled potato cubed. Now some fresh coriander for garnish. And here I'm using 1 tablespoon of roasted cumin powder. You could also use whole cumin or jeera. Then I'm going to be using some. So let's begin making this lovely recipe. Now to my sabudana, I'm going to be adding my peanut powder. Give it a good mix. Then I'm going to be adding salt to taste. So about 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. You can add as per your taste. Just a pinch of sugar. And give everything a good mix. Now here I'm using the medium size sabudana. You get very tiny sabudana too, but I like to use the medium size sabudana grains. Now in a pan, I'm just going to be heating about 1 tablespoon of desi ghee or clarified butter. Now once the ghee melts and becomes a little bit warm or hot on a low to medium flame, we're going to add and we're going to fry the green chilies well so that the ghee gets nicely flavored and gets a little spicy with the chilies. This is a very key step, that the chilies get nicely fried. And the way that you come to know that your chilies are fried, that they'll have some kind of a white spotting on them. Keep your flame from low to medium, and you can see that it has some kind of white spots on them, the green chili. That shows that the green chili is nicely fried, and your oil or your ghee is also nicely flavored with the chili. Now once that is done, we're going to add our roasted cumin powder, and like I said, you can also use whole cumin. Just use about half a tablespoon or 1 tablespoon. Then you're going to add in your boiled potatoes. You can increase the amount of potatoes if you want. I'm using just about 1 small potato. You can increase the amount of potatoes if you like. Now once the potatoes also are nicely coated with the cumin powder and the chilies, now we're going to just add in our sabudana mix. That is the sabudana with the peanut powder and the salt and sugar. Now give all of this a very good mix. This sabudana khichdi is an ideal recipe for upvas or fasting. It's also an ideal breakfast item, lunch, dinner. You can have it anytime. Now just cover this for about 2 minutes and let it cook on a low to medium flame. You can stir in between. This is it. It gets ready also very, very quickly. The only thing is the process of soaking the sabudana and then draining. All you have to do is just garnish it with some fresh chopped coriander. Mix up everything well together, and your sabudana khichdi is all ready to eat. It's an ideal tiffin item too, to give your kids to school, or carry it to office yourself, or give it to your hubby for his office, or even when some guests come unexpected. It's really ideal to make. Of course, your sabudana has to be ready for the dish, and now all we're left to do is serve it. And of course, it goes very well with some chilled yogurt, dahi or curd. That is like a marriage made in heaven. It it just goes amazingly well with curd. I have a recipe on how to make your curd or dahi or yogurt at home. I will leave a link of it below. I will also leave a link for sabudana vada recipe as well as my last year's sabudana khichdi recipe. So be sure to go and check it out. Homemade dahi has a totally different taste, it has a totally different flavor, and it's so fresh, no preservatives or nothing added. So check out my homemade dahi recipe. It's simple. So here friends, our sabudana khichdi is all ready. I hope you like this recipe. I hope you give it a try and do let me know in the comments box below what you thought of this simple yet delicious recipe. Do not forget to subscribe to Akshata's recipes by hitting the red subscribe button. It's completely free. And once you have subscribed, just click on the little bell so you won't miss out any of the recipes or vlogs or videos coming up on my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Hi friends, this is Akshata from Akshata's Recipes. Hope you're all doing great and are fine. Well, today's recipe is a very healthy recipe. It's a great breakfast idea. It's baked beans on toast, but we're going to be using soya beans as our beans for the recipe. So it's packed with proteins and really good for our health. You can have this for breakfast or just a light snack whenever you're hungry. So friends, let's just jump straight ahead into the recipe.
Now we're going to heat a pan and pour about 1 tablespoon of olive oil. We don't need to heat the olive oil a lot. We're going to add about 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, very finely chopped. Now to this garlic, I'm going to add 1 red onion, finely chopped. Give this a good mix. This has to be done on a low to medium flame. Now once our onions get translucent, we're going to add some pizza pasta sauce. I'm using the ready-made one, about 2 to 3 tablespoons. Give this a good mix. Now we are going to add a little bit of pizza pasta seasoning, which again is ready-made. It has all the herbs in it. To this we are going to add a little bit of pepper powder, finely ground pepper powder. I have added about half a teaspoon. Some salt to taste. I've added again about 3/4 of a teaspoon because the pizza pasta sauce also has some salt content. And now we're going to add the cooked soya beans. In my description box below, I will let you know as to how I prepared the soya beans for this baked beans recipe. It's very simple and very easy. Give all of this a good mix. And now we're going to cover this and cook it for about 5 to 10 minutes on a slow flame. And here is our baked beans all ready. You can have it with some lovely toast. It makes an awesome breakfast idea. So let's start with today's delicious chili cheese toast recipe. Now here I've taken some coriander, fresh coriander, and just soaked it in some water with which I've added a teaspoon of salt for about 15 minutes. Now I'm going to take 2 light green chilies. I'm going to take off the edges. I've washed the chilies well. And then we're going to chop the chilies really, really fine. Now it's very important that you wash the chilies, cut the chilies really, really fine for this chili cheese toast. So here I'm just chopping them roughly, and then I'm going to take another knife and really chop them fine, as you will see in the video. Now with respect to the coriander or the kothambir, after soaking it in some water to which salt has been added, I just drain all the water out and then wash the kothambir really well, and I'm going to chop that also really, really fine. Now, one tip I'd like to give you here: when you're buying coriander, buy the real fresh coriander which has these small little white flowers on them. That is the freshest you can get, and it's really delicious. So now here we have our coriander, we have our chopped chilies, and this I'm going to use some mixed herbs. You can use any brand, and this is just some processed cheese which I've grated. And this is a little bit of milk, about 4 tablespoons. Now you can use a mixture of processed cheese and mozzarella. You get this pizza blend of cheese. You can use that too, but right now I'm just using normal processed cheese. All I do is I just take the block of cheese and I grate it and keep it in my refrigerator whenever I require. It's always at hand. So now I'm just going to mix all the ingredients really well together. Now I'm going to add a little milk at a time, and I'm going to make it into a little kind of a paste. Now I'm also going to add a little bit of salt, a little bit of the mixed herbs, and I'm going to mix everything really well together. So what the milk does is it gives it some kind of a body and consistency and brings it to this kind of a spread kind of a consistency. So now I have my pan heating on a low to medium heat, and I've taken 2 slices of bread, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to evenly spread out this cheese mixture that I've prepared all over the slice of bread. So at this point, keep your pan or tawa, heating up on a low to medium flame. So now this mixture that I've made is enough for about 4 slices of bread, because I'm going to add a generous amount of the cheese mixture. And once we cut up each slice into 2 halves, we get about 8 slices. So now my pan is nice and hot. I'm just going to add half a teaspoon of butter and just spread it around. And then I'm going to place 2 slices, of the bread on the tawa. And I'm going to keep it on a low flame for just about half a minute. And I'm going to let the bread toast a little, the base of the bread toast a little. Now you can use brown bread, you can use whole grain bread. And I'll just cover it with a lid and let it just cook for another half minute, till the cheese just starts to lightly bubble. And then after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer this to a microwave safe proof, microwave proof dish or a plate, because I'm going to microwave this for just a minute so that I get the cheese nice and melted. So in the meantime, I'm going to put a little more butter on the pan, and I'm going to, toast the other 2 slices that we've, applied the cheese and chili spread to. So you can make this filling and keep it in your fridge, and whenever you feel like you can just make this chili cheese toast. So now in the meantime, I'm just going to microwave the other 2 slices for just a minute in my microwave so the cheese gets nice and melted and bubbly. Now these other 2 slices are heating up, and now you see the ones that have come out of the microwave. The cheese has nicely melted all evenly. And I'll show you the base of the bread also is nice and light and golden brown in color. Keep an eye on it when it's on the pan. It shouldn't get burnt at the bottom. We want this nice crispy kind of a texture to this chili cheese toast. And now once all the toasts are ready and they've cooled down a little bit, just cut them up into half with a nice sharp serrated knife. And your chili cheese toast is all ready. So you can have this all by itself, or you can club it up with some ketchup or any sauce that you like. So this is a nice anytime snack, or even a light breakfast or a light evening meal. I'm sure all the kiddies will love this. This is a big hit at my home with my family. And that's it, friends. Your chili cheese toast is all ready. So friends, let's see this quick and simple crispy breakfast pohe recipe. Now here I've taken 1 cup of medium poha or pohe, and I'm going to wash it well under water, and then I'm using a colander. I'm going to drain out all the water and just keep this aside for about 5 minutes. Now in the meantime, I'm going to chop up 1 medium-sized onion into small cubes like this. I always have to take out the white part of the onion, the middle part, and then take the tips of the chili, green chili, and chop it fine. Then I'm going to heat 1 tablespoon of oil in my pan. Once the oil is hot, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of mustard seeds,
Once the mustard seeds begin to splutter, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of cumin seeds, also called jeera. I'm going to add few fresh curry leaves. I'm also going to add the chopped up green chilli. Fry the chilli really well. Then I'm going to add half a teaspoon of asafoetida or hinga and half a teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi powder. So this is our basic phodni. So mix everything well. Now we're going to add our chopped up onion and we're going to fry the onion in this tadka or phodni or bagar for at least half a minute. Then we're going to cover and cook this because we want the onion to become a little bit soft. So after a minute of covering and cooking, you can see that the onion has become nice and soft. So mix everything well, and now we're going to add our poha. Again, we're going to mix everything so well that this white poha, none of the white part of the poha should be seen, but everything should be mixed very well with this bagar of phodni. So mix it well on a low to medium flame. The entire mixture should be really come together really well. There shouldn't be any white poha seen anywhere. Then again we're going to cover and cook this for 1 minute so everything comes together really well. After 1 minute, we're going to remove the lid. Again mix everything nicely. Now for it to be nice and crispy and not very soft, I like to just fry it for about a whole minute like this, stirring in continuously like this. That way it becomes nice and crispy. It's not that soft, fluffed up pohe, but it has a different texture. It's a little crispy and really tasty. Now I'm going to add salt to taste and just about 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. And then I'm going to add a little bit of coriander, about a tablespoon of finely chopped coriander. Mix everything really well together. And then you're going to put the flame off and you're going to squeeze the juice of half a lemon. Now you can add how much of a lemon juice. If you want it more on the tangy side, you can add an entire lemon juice or the juice of an entire lemon. I like to add a little because once you serve the pohe, then every person can add a little more lime if they want. Not everyone likes it too tangy. Or you can skip out the limbu totally and let everyone serve themselves as they like. And I like to sprinkle the shave on top of the pohe when I'm serving it. So I hope you try out this recipe, guys.